Hey guys, Brother Justin here from Charity Baptist Church. Brendan and I just went soul winning for a little more than an hour and a half. And then we got a cop calling us, right? That was really fun. And it's funny that I was talking about I haven't got any cop call on me for 2 months, and Brendan told me he has never had the cop call on me, and literally the next door, so we have the cop showed up, right? Right. Yeah, come closer. But so, how do you like the cop?
Well, I mean, they really didn't like us being there, and they were pretty much willing to arrest us to get rid of us. But they definitely made it clear that we could leave peacefully.
Right. I mean, they were telling us if we come back again, they're going to arrest us.
Right. You live here.
Yeah. And I told them, I'll see you next week.
Yeah. We're like, well, we'll be back next Friday. You know, we were about to leave anyways.
Right. But because the law of the land says only the tenant can object you. You know, the manager cannot say no to leave the property, even though it's a private property.
Because the people, leasing their homes.
Yeah, and we're not selling anything. We're just sharing the good news.
It's not solicitation.
I mean, it's a free gift anyway if you want to sell it. Right? It's free anyway. But the Bible says we ought to obey God rather than man. Even though it's not legal, we should still do that. Even though that means to be in prison. Paul. Right. Paul was in prison. He was beaten. He's not killed, but
he was killed or he died.
Yeah, but Paul was persecuted. We as Christians nowadays should take a stand, even though the police.
Obey God rather than man.
Yeah. So
next week, live streaming us getting arrested.
Maybe
that'd be awesome.
Yeah. Someone has been praying that I get deported for a long time. So.
Well, I mean.
So I'll see how that goes.
Like Philip to the eunuch deported. Yeah.
But remember, there's a story like Paul is telling that person to be blind because they are the enemy of the gospel.
Yeah. You're cursed.
Yeah. So I mean, these policemen, these manager, they are really the enemies of the cross of Christ. They're waiting for people to go to hell rather than them hearing the gospel.
We're almost done with the apartment complex. Like we're the last couple weeks, and we're almost done. So
the police told us we're not supposed to be back, but we'll come back to finish this apartment complex up next week. And if we're in prison, praise God, right?
Amen.
Yeah, glory to His name. Yeah, amen. All right.
Form an adult.
Yeah. Next week?
Next week.
See you in prison, mate.
It's going to be good.
Alright, so last Friday, my friend and I were inviting people to church in the apartment complex and then to share the gospel. And then one of the maintenance side, they called the police and they threatened to arrest us. And then we told them we're going to come back next week because it's not against the law.
Oh, yeah, for soliciting. Yep.
No, we're not selling anything. We have the Supreme Court ruling right here. So it's not, even if they arrest us, that's going to make them look like a fool.
Sorry for interrupting you. This was the gentleman who was out, sharing the gospel and putting up flyers and stuff like that.
Yeah. So there is an order because this is considered private property. You are not able to solicitate here.
We're not soliciting. We are just registering my people to church. And
it's still the same thing.
No, we have the Supreme Court ruling right here. The church visitation to private apartment, they can only be prohibited by the tenant themselves individually.
Even the police officers, when they came and they talked to you, they said that you are not able to do it.
But we'll come back next week. Then, if they want to arrest us, then that's okay. But Supreme Court ruling is on our side, and we have the constitutional right.
Okay, you don't have the right to do it here at the private property.
You have no say to object with the whole tenants. They individually can object us.
I can tell you that I do not want solicitation here.
We are not soliciting. We are not trying to sell anything.
It's the same thing.
No, it's not the same thing.
It is.
Do you care about the law?
I'm following the law.
You're following the law? You sure?
And the police even told you that. That's why
they don't know the law. I told them this. They don't even listen to this.
They are the law.
No, come on. The police law, the Constitution is the law.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So
I'm just letting you know, unless you want to have further problems.
Okay. I'm going. No, we're gonna come back next week. Okay. If they call the cops, so be it. Okay. The law is on our side. But even if the law is not on our side, we ought to obey God rather than men. Okay, I just make my position clear.
It's not a religious thing. It's that we don't allow that to be done here on the property.
But you have no say.
I do.
They lease the apartment, so it belongs to them.
It doesn't.
It depends. Do you want to look at the law?
I understand what the law is.
You haven't even read this?
Okay, I understand what the law is, and just because you rent an apartment at Bay Point doesn't mean that apartment's yours. It's still mine. It's still ours. You're just leasing it from us.
Right.
So that makes it a private property, and we do not allow that to happen here.
It says the apartment complex or trailer park manager may not make a blanket prohibition on behalf of the entire complex.
Okay, well I can.
You can?
Yes.
So you are disobeying the law of the land?
That I don't think that that's the right law.
You don't think that's the right law? Have you studied it?
I have.
You sure?
I'm sure.
Okay, so we're gonna come back next week, all right? Let's see how that's gonna go.
If you want to do that, we'll call the police again.
We're definitely gonna do this.
And then you don't want to end up having this jeopardizing your home too, because you're refusing to listen. Sir, I understand religion. Religion's very important to me as well. But you have to understand you just can't do that here. And so I'm not saying you can't do it, and I think it's awesome what you're trying to do. You just can't do it here.
We'll come back next week.
Okay.
Right? Sounds good? All right. See you later.
I'm just letting you know that this could potentially damage your
I don't care. We'll come back next week. Right?